Boys! On April 1st, Fizzi expanded the stage list, as he did, I believe, 2 years ago, to include all kinds of wacky, silly stages like Rainbow Cruise and Poke Floats. All kinds of great stages that some of which used to be, many of which, I think all of which, in fact, used to be legal in tournament. That's right, we're gonna make a tier list, assuming that all of the stages that were available on the April Fool's playlist were legal. So it's basically Rainbow Cruise, Poke Floats, Brinstar, Mute City, Corneria, Donkey Kong 64. So at the top of S, easily is Fox. Not only is he incredibly good combat-wise on stages like Corneria, he basically gets to KO you off the top with up smash at like, 50 if you're Puff. It's harder to chain grab him, even though there's no platforms. The fact that it's slopey means he can DI towards the slope and often escape chain grabs. And maybe my editor can put in that really sick combo that I just did on Corneria earlier today to show what Fox can do to Marth on the stage. And I'm almost tempted to have Fox be the only member of the S tier. I'm actually tempted to put him into his own tier. I actually want to go like, yeah, we're gonna go like that. I think conventionally, the character that would go directly under Fox here is probably Jigglypuff. So you might be thinking like, wow, that's actually kind of weird, right? Like Jigglypuff has some really bad stages. Like you've got Corneria, where she gets up throw upward and dies at like 40 or whatever. But then on the flip side, Puff doesn't suffer as much as you might think on those stages because unlike some of the other characters that really do need ledges, Puff never needs ledges. Puff is totally happy to just recover without using ledges relative to characters like Sheik, Marth. Jigglypuff can even do my favorite edge guard in the game, where you literally just charge rollout on the ground of Mute City and there's no ledge. So when people recover, when your opponent recovers, they just have to land on the stage and just eat a rollout to the face. Like there's nothing they can do. I think Falcon actually could be above Jigglypuff. I think Donkey Kong 64 is an incredible stage for Captain Falcon. His recovery gets a lot better. He can recover through the floor. He appreciates how high the blast zones are. Rainbow Cruise, Falcon is really happy to play on Rainbow Cruise. Even greens, like knee is killing you at 30. The platforms are really good for you. He can play off the blocks really well. Corneria, Falcon's actually pretty happy on Corneria. His punish game doesn't suffer at all. He can still reaction tech chase you. And he has like side B shenanigans on the fin and shit like that. I actually think Falcon might be like low-key the second best character. All right, fourth I think has to be Falco. I'm gonna put him at the bottom of S. I think Falco's definitely, obviously still really good. He is a spacey, so he's got good mobility. He still can kind of do the Fox thing where he can just play the runaway game. Falco no lower than fourth on the tier list, but I am gonna put him underneath Jigglypuff. And then the character where I'm a little bit torn on whether I want to put them at the bottom of S or the top of A, definitely gonna be Sheik. She can definitely fight. I'm actually gonna put her at the bottom of S. When I was piloting her earlier, I did not feel very limited at all. In fact, most of my Sheik games I felt were very comfortable. Foreigner's amazing. It's like really, a lot of these stages have condensed blast zones. You're just fighting near the blast zone a lot more often, and she really appreciates that. She can get some really cheeky kills. You can't reaction tech chase kind of as well, but honestly, a lot of the time you still can, depending on the stage. She's amazing on Congo Jungle 64. She's amazing on Brinstar. She can actually invincibly ledge stall through the lava, which I did earlier on stream. She doesn't really want to fight you on a stage like Poke Floats. She doesn't really want to fight on a stage like Rainbow Cruise, but honestly, not having ledges to up B2, I think hurts her not as hard as you might expect. I guess there are stages like Mute City where her recovery is really exploitable, but you can spend your ban on Mute City if you really want to. Like if you're fighting a Puff, you're gonna ban Mute City. You're not that torn up about having to fight Puff on Brinstar. Up next on the tier list, I think now is probably where we dip into A. Marth definitely gets hurt. He's still good, but the issues that plague Sheik plague him, I think, a little harder. His punish game actually is kind of impacted on a lot of these stages, more so than Sheik, in my opinion. And also, like, the fact that he's floaty, but like not floaty like Puff where he can recover from anywhere. Floaty, but has an exploitable recovery. I think that's pretty bad for him. I actually don't really like Marth on a lot of these stages. Even back in the day, top Marth players like Mewtwo King would just opt to play Fox on some of these stages, or they would opt to play Sheik. Yoshi on pretty much all these stages by Jungle Japes. Oh, all right, Marth is going right here, but you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put Yoshi at top of A. I'm telling you, Yoshi is the kind of character, and this has been demonstrated. If you altered the stage list somewhat, Yoshi becomes a ridiculous character. Obviously, we know Yoshi loves platforms. Yoshi's down to fight on a lot of these stages. I'm just saying I would not want to fight Amsa on Brinstar or Rainbow Cruise. Like, I would not want to fight Amsa there. That sounds miserable. That sounds really hard. You think Yoshi should be S? Yeah, I can dig it. I think Yoshi is that much better than Marth in these stages. I agree. Okay, I'm kind of torn on Pikachu. I could actually see this. Pikachu isn't gonna, like, when you think about the win conditions for Pikachu on a lot of the common stages, Pikachu wants to get you off stage and gimp you. Pikachu doesn't do that much damage. That's the problem with Pikachu. Pikachu is extremely mobile, and okay, I could see that a really cracked out Pikachu, no one will ever reach this level, because we would have to legalize these stages and then like have the meta develop for another 10 years. But like imagine all of the crazy up B cancels, like up B edge cancels that are like theoretically possible on some of these stages like Rainbow Cruise or Poke Floats. At the same time, I don't think Marth is as bad as some of the people in chat. Some of the people in chat are like really like, oh, no, Marth is gonna be dog water, dude. Marth is gonna be trash. I don't think Marth is that bad. And then there's Peach. She's not very mobile. She doesn't get to have as much fun as she does on a lot of the normal stages. She kind of gets camped. What she does have is Mute City and Brinstar. Peach on Mute City and Brinstar those are really strong counter picks. Mute City, like, I mean, she can chain grab you. Her edge guard is ridiculous. Like you're never gonna get back against a good Peach on Mute City ever. And her recovery gets, if anything, better. Like she is rarely going to the ledge anyway. She doesn't want to grab the ledge. So she does kind of get an auto win in a tournament set because she gets Mute City or Brinstar. That's pretty good. But on the flip side, her bad stages are really bad for her. Like Rainbow Cruise, unwinnable. Poke Floats, unwinnable. Donkey Kong 64. Donkey Kong 64 is another really, really good Peach stage in my opinion. It is a really good Peach stage, but she does get circle camped. Although, as we've seen, she can also do the circle camping. Shoutouts to Pink Shinobi versus Rock Crop. I'm gonna put her below Pikachu. Nah, in fact, I'm gonna go this order. I'm gonna go in this order. Okay, so up next, we've got, I would say Ices and Samus in some order. Ices, I think, suffers for sure. I mean, even Brinstar, which is one of the better counterpick stages, like one of the better ban stages for Ices. The problem with it is that Nana just has a hard time keeping up when you have to jump around platforms. Nana gets kind of separated from her chief pretty easily. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Samus here. And then I'm gonna put Ices under. Below that, I guess Ganon? Ganon might even be above Ices. We're gonna go through some of these mid tiers a little bit faster because I think there's less theory about them, and I think they're a lot closer to each other. I think young Link probably benefits from the mobility. He still does well against floaties and stuff like that. Obviously, he's the kind of character that values, oh my god, his ear is so long. Look at that ear. His ear is longer than his face. That is bizarre looking now that I'm looking at it. His big problem is like punish game is kind of whatever, but on a lot of these stages, you kind of take what you can get no matter who you are. I'm gonna go in roughly this order. C is gonna be a pretty big tier. Donkey Kong, I think somewhere around here. I think Donkey Kong probably, obviously he can't zero death you as good as on the other stages. I was in Cody's chat the other day and Cody was saying that based on his matchup knowledge from playing Nog, he was saying the big problem with DK's punish game in his opinion is that when you DI off stage or off the ledge, Donkey Kong kind of has a hard time following you up. He kind of wants to be able to gimp you, and I feel like on a lot of these stages, he kind of loses that ability. His recovery, I think, is pretty bad vertically, and that's not what you want on a stage like Rainbow Cruise, Poke Floats, any stage where you have to move around a lot. Now we're moving to the lower tiers. Actually, you know who I think is not bad? Mewtwo. I don't know if this is whack or based, but I'm gonna put Mewtwo right smack dab in the middle of B. I think Mewtwo goes up. Mewtwo's teleport has like no landing lag. So his recovery is actually very good. His mobility is very good. He can kind of play a keep away game. I think his ability to fight on a lot of these stages, yeah, back throw, insane recovery, also up throw. And so I'm gonna put Mewtwo like, I don't know, I'm gonna put him above like Donkey Kong and Link. Why? Because I feel like it. Okay, next I'm gonna do Game & Watch. Not much to say here. You know, he's not impacted too hard. Actually, his mobility is not that bad. I could even see Game & Watch moving up. Well, because of lack of data, I don't know. It kind of feels like one of his biggest strengths is his edge guard game, and he's not gonna have that to obviously the same degree. I think Game & Watch is gonna go down. Oh, I just realized, by the way, what am I doing? Chat, you never stopped me. There we go. The real order. I forgot about our boys, the Mario Bros. How could I forget about the Mario Bros? And Dr. Mario, of course. Luigi, I think, is gonna go down a little bit. I just kind of worry about Luigi's floatiness. I think Luigi, well, he's gonna be better than characters like Mewtwo and probably Donkey Kong, but I'm not convinced he's gonna be better than characters like Ganondorf. So I would probably assume we have some kind of situation like this going on. Link is probably gonna be somewhere in here. I guess he's gonna be a little lower. I think the lack of mobility is actually gonna hurt him more than most. And young Link, Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna let Young Link be up here. I'm gonna let Young Link be out here. I don't know. I've got a wild theory that Young Link might be actually pretty playable on some of these stages. Doc is the best B tier. Doc, you think Doc over Samus? Samus does want to play a very grounded game. All right, fine. I'm convinced. I'm kind of worried about the Ices. I think Ices probably have a real struggle on some of these stages. Okay, now we're pretty much only down to like the real low tiers of the game. So I think Roy is gonna go in the D tier. Pichu's gonna be down here. I think Ness might even kind of go down, but back throw I think is going to give him a fighting chance. And I'm kind of down to adhere to, well, you know, I could see Zelda moving up. I would rather fight Ness or Pichu on these stages than Zelda. I think Zelda's going to move up. Reason being, she can kick you. And if she kicks you, you're going to explode at 30 on some of these stages. So I'm going to put her above Pichu and Ness. And rounding out the bottom of the tier list, I think Kirby is just as dog as before, and I think Bowser actually does move up. Bowser, I don't think is quite as bad as we ran into some Bowsers. He moves above Kirby, but I think he's still in the F tier, you know? And this is the tier list. How do we feel about this? The only thing left to do is for me to screenshot my tier list, and with absolutely zero context, head on over to twitter.com and post that shit. And there you go. Now the denizens of Twitter are not gonna know what the fuck is going on, but you do. Twitch chat, and you do. YouTube. Hey YouTubers, if you're surfing YouTube and you made it to the end of this video, good stuff to you. Why don't you go ahead and leave a little comment down below, tell me what you think.